What's going on, everyone? Mono Productions back in another video, and in this video, instead of doing a review, I'm going to be showing you a how-to. And for this how-to, I'm going to be showing you how to make your custom Gamasuit 2.0 Figma Deku. First off, I know many people don't have money, so there is a solution to this. Instead of buying the actual authentic figure, you could actually get a bootleg, which is this one right here. I bought this on AliExpress for about $16 plus like about $5 shipping, so about $20 for this figure, and it holds up really well. And for the materials, what you're going to need is some gold paint right here, some white apple barrel, and this is very important because this is the color of his suit, and Tuscan Teal. Then you're going to need a dark blue for right there. Then you're going to need some silver for his mask. And then you're going to need some black paint. And then also what you might need, or if you can't get black paint, you could also get a Sharpie, which works too. And then you could get hot glue, but I use Gorilla Glue, which works too when I'm attaching some pieces. And you're going to need cardstock, and if you do not know what cardstock is basically paper except a little bit thicker, so it holds up better, and you could get about like a pack for about $10. Then you're going to need these foam pieces. These pieces I actually got from my local dollar store, like the 99-cent store or Dollar Tree. And what this basically is, it's like foam. So it's basically, it has like a sticky residue on both sides. This side right here, once you take off some of the cover, and the bottom. And what I used this for was right here, as you can see, right here and right here. And these materials, you could get the paint on, you could get it on Walmart, or you could just get it online, but I recommend getting on Walmart because the paint ranges between 50 cents to about $2. For 50 cents, you could basically get all of these paints for 50 cents, which is almost $1.50. And then for the little bit of more expensive paint, you could get these ones, which could range to about $2. And then I have a hard time finding black sometimes at my Walmart, and sometimes they put it up to $1.50. So, and that's why I recommended for some people to use a Sharpie, because it does work too. And then you're gonna need your Gorilla Glue, or I said you could use hot glue, but for me, I would prefer using some kind of super glue. And then, as I said, this is gonna be really important for his arms and then his gloves, so you have to make sure to get this. I don't remember what the name was called, but I know it comes with maybe like 100 of them, like they're in a roll like this. There's a bunch of them. I used lots, so now I'm going to show you how to make it. So first off, what you're going to want to do is remove most of his joints and everything, most of his parts. Like, what I mean is like removing his arm and everything like that, so you could have access to painting the entire figure. And for painting it, you're going to need the Tuscan Teal, because this is the color of his suit. And once you color all of his suit, I would recommend doing about 3 layers of paint and waiting for about an hour for each coat so it could look good. I've had this figure for a while and painted it about 5 times. So, and then once you have his color ready, then what I recommend you doing is getting your cardstock. So what you're going to need the cardstock for is, if you can't see, you're going to need it for his legs. So what I did is I took an estimate for his thigh, and I just like cut a little piece out, which wasn't really that hard. I snipped about this much off, and I put it around his thigh and see if it fit, and it did fit. So what then I got is, which some people have, is scissors. And all you have to do is just kind of cut like straight for a while, and then go a little bit down, continue on straight, cut up, and then you're gonna have that little piece for his leg restraints. And then what you're going to want to do is have your black paint or your Sharpie and color this right here, his leg, the bottom of his leg. Because this also goes with, as you can see in the figures in the background, if I could just bring this, it goes all the way down. And what I did is I had pictures, and since I had these statues, I had them for references, which was very easy. And then once you're done with that, what you're going to have to do is paint or use a Sharpie and go over his lines. I know what Figma didn't do is they didn't make a new suit for him. They had his first hero costume, and they never made like his gamma suit. And what people decided to do was make this costume. So for this, you're gonna have to paint these white lines black, which was very easy. Then once you do that, you're gonna need to do his top right here. As you can see right here, it kind of has black and then it goes up. What I would recommend, if I could take this stand off, is I would kind of recommend doing this last. And the next part is going to be the foam pieces right here. So what you're going to need is the foam piece. You're going to need to take one off, have scissors, and cut it about halfway, just to see if it could fit like around here. And once you find the perfect shape, you're going to need two of them. So if you cut them in half, they should be about the same length, so they should both fit. And once you have that, then as you can see, Deku has like this piece right here that goes all the way down. And I didn't really want to mess up with his arm right here because I feel like that would probably get in the way. So what I decided to do was paint it right here, which it looks really good. And then the next part for his mask. So with his mask, I couldn't find the exact same metallic color his mask has, but I did find this one, which looks decent. So what I did is I just painted his entire mask from green to silver, and then what I did was have the black paint and make his little marks. You can see that. Once you have that, you need to do his hair. And I know some knockoffs, they have the hair black, but my version of the knockoff didn't have his hair black. So what I did is I used the Sharpie, and I just went all over his hair for the highlights. Go in the back. Then once you have the hair done, now you're going to do the arms. And the mistake I did was for the arms was I added the foam layer first, which you could still do it, except I would recommend painting his arms white first. So first I would recommend taking off his gauntlet, which will be his Air Force. And then you should just try to take off his arm and everything, so you can just paint the individual parts you need. And then once you have that, then you're going to need your foam piece. And remember, you're going to have to cut it down to about, it looks like about half size. Then once you have that, you're going to need a tiny foam piece right here for his this part right here. And if you could get that done, which took a while for me, it took about like 15 minutes. Once you have that, just paint the entire arm. Just make sure it looks all nice and everything. When you're done with that, you're going to need your dark blue color for his lines. And for one of the arms right here, I kind of messed up. But you're not really going to see much of that side. So you see right here, I kind of just had it right there and try to make it a little bit similar to that. Then once you have the arms done, you're going to need to do this part, as I said, because if you look right here, it kind of, the black goes all around his arm and it goes up. So what I did is I had the Sharpie, and I went the up and through the sides, and then while I was doing that, I actually decided to do the rest of his black. The lines went all the way down, I did that, then I did the black line right here. And once I had that, the figure is almost done. So then you're going to need his gauntlet part. His gauntlet part was very difficult for me because I don't like measuring, so I had to get this almost right. So what you're going to need is another foam piece, and just by looking at it, you're going to need about like a square of it for the side pieces, then about almost half of it for the front piece right there. And then what I did was super glue it on. So once you have, since it's sticky, it could stay on, but over time it will start to like come off. So what I decided to do was apply some super glue to it so it could stay on better. And if you could look right there, you could actually see some of the glue residue on it. Anyway, once you have these attached, you're gonna have to do his Air Force, which if you don't want to do the Air Force, that's okay, but for me, I wanted to make his recent suit. So I had this figure for the Air Force. So I basically kind of referenced it a bit, and I just went all around because the blue line goes all around, like all around through his arm. So that's what I did. And then I kind of stopped halfway because I realized I didn't want the gauntlet to be too chunky, because if it was, he would be like this, and I want him to kind of sometimes have his arm like this instead of his arms like this. So once you have that, then you're gonna need the final part for this figure. And the final part for the figure is his legs, his shoes. So what I did was, instead of using paint, because I didn't want the paint to get stuck inside like the plastic for his toe bend. So what I decided to do was use the Sharpie and go all over his leg to make his iron soles. And as you can see, I did a decent job at it. And once you're done with that, you have your custom Gamasuit 2.0 Figma Deku ready. I hope this tutorial or how-to helped you a lot to make your own. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you want me to review the Figma Bakugo or the RYUKO MATOI, put them down in the comments below. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you all later. 力を貸してくれるか